feel like I'm in trouble. No, I'll just say it. All right, guys, thanks. Talk to you later. All right, thanks. No more questions. See you guys. Oh, he didn't even.
I feel honored that you were waiting on me. All those wins you guys racked up. Congratulations.
Thanks, my friend.
Okay.
Apologize for not being in, but we've got Crew Chief Chad Knaus, Crew Chief of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, Jimmie Johnson, Hendrick Motorsports. Chad, special win today. First win at Bristol for the 48 team, and the 50th career victory in the Sprint Cup Series. You've been there for all of them. Congratulations. How does this one rank?
This one's pretty incredible, to be honest with you. We've, I think more than anything with coming into this race, everybody's like, man, you guys just don't run well at Bristol, and that's kind of that stigma. Excuse me. Pretzel stuck on my throat. He probably did. But everybody says as we roll in here, you guys have never won here, what it's going to take to win, so on and so forth. And, in all honesty, we've run exceptionally well the last 4 races here. Been really happy with the performance of the Lowe's Chevrolet, and Jimmie's really come to his own. And, we left Atlanta 2 weeks ago, kind of bummed out because we had such a good race car and we didn't finish where we felt like we should have. And for the first time in my career, walking out of Atlanta, I said, man, I can't wait to get to Bristol. And it was the truth. We were really excited about coming here, and we unloaded. The car was extremely fast. Jimmie was very comfortable in the race car, and he was really finding his way around the track well and was able to lead us and tell us what the car was doing to where we could make significant changes to it to make it better. So it was really a great weekend, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Chad. Let's go up to the press box. Any questions for Chad Knaus?
I guess that's a no.
No, I think they've got one. Go ahead, please.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Chad, can you talk about the decision on the last pit stop of 4 tires and the 2 4-tire decision?
Yeah, that was a pretty easy decision for us. Obviously, we're running in the second position coming onto pit road right behind the 2 car. We felt pretty confident that a lot of guys were going to take 2 tires, but I felt like if we had a really good pit stop, we'd roll out of the pits probably 4th. If we had a bad pit stop, we'd roll out maybe 8th. And we had a good pit stop, and we went out 6th. So I was pretty pleased with that. And with the amount of laps that we had left, even though they were dwindling, and we ran a couple extra caution laps than what I thought we would, I figured we'd have about 12 laps to go. Ended up only about 10. We felt very confident we'd be able to get back up to the front, at least get a solid top 5. And that's kind of what our goal was for the day, was to come out here with a top 10 finish, a strong run, and build on for what we needed in the fall. So it was a pretty easy decision, in all honesty.
Stay upstairs. Another question in the press box. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nate Ryan, USA Today. Chad, there's been a lot of talk about the luck you guys have had this year, but with that in mind, can you talk about the job Jimmie did on the final restart, going from, I guess, 6th to 1st?
Yeah, it wasn't a hell of a lot of luck involved in that one. That was just driving. That was we had the good lane being on the outside. That's where you want to be, especially with guys on 2 tires on the inside of you, because you're just going to be able to motor on by them. The car was really good. The car was really good the run before that. We were running right behind the 2 car the whole run there. So we felt very confident that we were going to have a good race car. Car was really, really good on the short run, and it would fall off a little bit later in the run. But, we were keeping pace with the 2 car pretty consistently the run before that. They did have us beat, but, honestly, if they'd have been just ahead of us, we wouldn't have passed them. If we would have been just ahead of them, I don't think they could have passed us either. So I think the cars are pretty tit for tat.
Let's come downstairs for a couple questions. We'll go with Tanya, David, and then Jim.
Tanya Ganguly, Orlando Sentinel. I remember last year this race, Jimmie came in here before the race and was just like, I'm trying to have a positive attitude. I hate this place, but I'm going to be positive. And then he ran really well, and he finished. You guys finished 3rd. Was that a turning point for him and how he felt coming in here?
Yeah, I think every time we've shown up at this racetrack, we've gotten just a little bit better every single time. And like I said, about 4 races ago, we really started to get some things happening and clicking for us. So being able to go out into the races and adjust the cars to where Jimmy's comfortable with them and make the changes, and he can feel the changes. Before, it was like we were almost flying blind. He was just out there just chewing on the steering wheel, going as fast as he could, throwing the car around, and that's kind of what happens around here. But the really good guys, like the Bush brothers and Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, when these guys get out there, they really feel the racetrack and get the rhythm and the momentum and understand what's going on. And Jimmy started to get that. And once he started to get a feel for what it was that was going on and we could make the right adjustments to the car, it just started clicking.
Go ahead, David.
David Caravella, NASCAR.com. Chad, as confident as you guys were coming in, I mean, Jimmy screaming and celebrating over the radio, slinging stuff in victory lane. I mean, does that kind of speak volumes about what this race win means to him?
It was pretty high on his list. Jimmy and I write a little, pre-season summary of what it is that we want to try to accomplish for the upcoming season. And among other things, Bristol was pretty high on his list. And for him to say that he wanted to focus on that and get better at this racetrack, and for us to be able to go out there and do what we did, I think it speaks volumes about the dedication and the desire that he's got inside. Now, it's not any different at any other racetrack. We need to make sure everybody understands that. We want to win every single event, but this one has eluded us, and we're very proud to be able to have it.
Okay, we'll go to Jim Utter. Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Chad, one of the things that Kurt Busch said about you guys after the race was that you always seem to, every time you have a chance to win, you win. Do you think that that's one of the things that most frustrates your competitors? Not that you're when you come to the track and you unload and you're really good and you have a really good weekend, but that even times when you might not, and an opportunity arises late in a race, say, that you're able to turn it into something perhaps better than people think you're going to have at the time.
I hope it frustrates them. That's only momentum for us. But all of what happens in situations like that, whatever it is, I think it falls back on preparation. It really does. Jimmy ran 490 laps. He got out of the race car. He looked like he had just barely ran 20. Some of these other guys are falling over, whipped and couldn't even hardly drive. So I think that preparation on his part, preparation on our part of having an idea of what it is that we need to do at each and every racetrack to make the race cars better, from Greg Ives and Ron Malik preparing the cars and getting them ready to go. The Hickory guys working on that. It's all preparation, and that's what you try to do, is you try to prepare for that situation whenever it arises. Whatever it is, if you need that killer pit stop, if you need that spectacular chassis adjustment, if Jimmy needs to be fresh at the end of the race, if it's a real hot day, whatever the situation is, we try to prepare on all fronts.
Let's go upstairs for another question from Chad, and then we may release him to go to inspection. Go ahead, questions for Chad Knaus.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. What do you feel, Chad, you have left to accomplish, or what do you want to accomplish? I mean, obviously, you knocked off another one of the 6 active tracks. There's 5 more on that list. But what else? What's going to make you happy and satisfied?
There's not a lot. I mean, we got a long ways to go. Somebody had said just a little while ago, "Man, your bucket's almost full." And I said, "Well, as far as I'm concerned, we dump it out every week and start over." And that's the mentality that we have. We've got to go to the racetrack every week, hungry, focused, and with the desire to win. We've got expectations that we have to live up to, and if we can do that week in and week out, then we're doing our jobs. But I can promise you there's no switch that's going to flip anytime soon, no matter what happens, that's going to make us not want to go to the racetrack and win races.